Silicone casting on silicone gloves mold. Child with pig PJs. Part 1. The mother mold is dry front and back with the sealer. Now it's ready to use for the casting process.
Let's wear the mother mold and see the results together.
I'm placing the ear inside the mother mold, and I'm very satisfied with the results. It fits perfectly. Other materials sometimes dry and shrink, but this one turned out perfect.
Let's start by shaking well the release agent 205 from Smooth On. I prefer to use the liquid release inside narrow and small areas like the ear, fingers, and toes. With a long brush, I make sure all the tiny details receive the release agent. The brush helps hold and spread it evenly.
My favorite 3M mask, very comfortable, and with the 606 filter keeps you safe. Always work 8N ventilated area. Use latex-free gloves, work safely.
With the brush wet with the release agent, I will apply it inside the ear, foot, hand, and all the small areas of the mother mold.
This step is the most important part of the entire casting process. If you don't use the right release agent and make sure the mold is fully covered, the casting can stick to the mold, causing damage. You might lose both the mold and your piece.
The brushes can be reused.
The straws need to be long and wide to work with the spray can of Release 200. This trick helps reach the tight areas inside the mold as well. If I find it necessary, I prefer to use both release agents at the same time. Then you can decide which one works best for your design and mold details.
This is just one more trick that works for me in this process, and I hope it's helpful for you too.
Now I'm going to use Release Agent 200 on all the more open areas of the mold.
Here you can see that I positioned the mold in the exact angle I need to pour the silicone into the ear. This is a technique I prefer, and I use it for all my molds, no matter the size or style. I always cast one ear at a time. I don't like dealing with bubbles or small imperfections in the ears later, so I prefer to take extra time at this stage to avoid more work later.
Here I'm going to use the vacuum chamber to dig out the silicone. I'll show you how to use it in this video.
Since this is a fantasy mold, I'm going to use fluorescent silicone pigments. I'll play with the colors without worrying about perfection, just experimenting with the hues. No stress, just enjoying the art. There's no pressure for it to turn out perfectly.
I'm also preparing the small tongue molds to receive silicone. What you're seeing are my different sizes of mini tongue molds. There's always some silicone left over, so I use it to cast tongues and avoid wasting material. Whenever I do a casting, I like to have these mini molds nearby to make use of the leftover silicone. Make sense?
I separated some silicone pigments in powder to give a different thickness in some parts of the mold. It makes a cool effect on the tongue-like thickness.
Here I'm using Ecoflex 20 silicone from Smooth On with silicone pigments flesh skin tone.
Let's use the scale and a calculator to get the equal arts of silicone A and B right.
Just add a pinch of the silicone pigments.
Wow, this color is so vibrant.
Mix well.
Let's use the vacuum chamber to degassing the silicone. I leave it inside the vacuum chamber until all the bubbles disappear. Then I turn off the pump, turn the valve back to the initial place, and remove the lid.
In the meantime, I'm going to add some of the peach silicone powder inside the ear, just as an experiment, to see if it will have any color effect.
Peach Rayon Fiber Flocking from Factor 2. I called silicone pigment colors.
Now the bubbles are gone. Let's turn off the pump.
I make a spout on the paper cup to pour the silicone more easily. Whenever possible, I prefer using paper cups for this reason.
I'm tapping on the mold to help to release the bubbles, but this process it is also preferences I like and my first instructor didn't.
Now with the remaining silicone, I'm going to cast the mini molds. I'm going to use a drop of silicone thinner because the molds are very small and tight, and now I need the silicone to fit thinly inside the mold, slippery, or it will form bubbles.
It's smooth on products as well.
I'm going to use a syringe with a tip to help with pouring. These syringes are very useful and can be reused. When the silicone is cured, just pour it in and it's ready to be reused. Now I'm going to wait for the silicone to cure before continuing with the other ear. I'm wrapping it up for now, and I'll be back with part 2 once the silicone is fully cured, so we can move on with the casting. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel so it can keep going and be here whenever you need these tips. Subscribe.